The old house stood on a hill overlooking the town of Silent Hollow, its silhouette a jagged tear against the bruised twilight sky. Blackwood Manor, they called it, a place of whispers and shadows avoided by the townsfolk who spoke of it only in hushed tones. I was drawn to it, of course. Curiosity, that insidious siren, had been my downfall many times before. I was an author seeking inspiration for my next novel, and the decaying grandeur of Blackwood Manor promised a tale woven from darkness and dread. The realtor, a nervous man with eyes that darted like frightened birds, handed me the keys with a trembling hand. The owner, he was eager to sell, he stammered, avoiding my gaze. Didn't ask for much, just wanted to be rid of it. I watched him scurry back to his car, a sense of unease settling over me like a shroud. The house seemed to watch me too, its empty windows like vacant eyes. The interior was a labyrinth of shadows and decay. Dust lay thick on the ornate furniture, cobwebs draped like ghostly tapestries, and the air hung heavy with the scent of mildew and forgotten things. Yet, amidst the decay, there was a strange beauty, a sense of history etched into the very bones of the house. I chose a room on the second floor, overlooking the overgrown gardens. It was the least dilapidated of the lot, with a large four-poster bed and a fireplace that looked like it hadn't been lit in decades. As I unpacked, a chill snaked through the room, despite the summer heat. I dismissed it as the house settling, the old timbers groaning under the weight of years. That night, the whispers began. They were faint at first, like the rustling of leaves or the sigh of the wind. But they grew louder, more insistent, slithering through the silence like unseen serpents. They seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once, weaving in and out of the shadows, just beyond the edge of hearing. I tried to ignore them, to tell myself it was just the old house playing tricks on my ears. But the whispers persisted, growing more distinct, more malevolent. They spoke of things I couldn't understand, words twisted and broken, but filled with a sense of profound sorrow and rage. Sleep offered no escape. My dreams were plagued by visions of darkness and decay, of shadowy figures lurking in the corners of my vision, their eyes burning with malevolent intent. I would wake in a cold sweat, the whispers echoing in my ears, the oppressive silence of the house broken only by the frantic beating of my own heart. Days turned into nights and the whispers grew stronger, more demanding. They began to coalesce into a single voice, a voice that seemed to know my deepest fears, my darkest secrets. It spoke my name, over and over again, each utterance a caress of icy dread. I started to see things too. Shadows that moved when I wasn't looking, figures glimpsed in the periphery, only to vanish when I turned to face them. The feeling of being watched was constant, a suffocating presence that clung to me like a second skin. One evening, as I sat by the fireplace trying to write, the voice became a scream. It tore through the silence of the house, a sound of pure, unadulterated agony that made my blood run cold. I recoiled in terror, knocking over my inkwell, the dark liquid spreading across the floor like a pool of blood. The scream was followed by a vision, sharp and clear as a shard of glass. I saw a woman, young and beautiful, with long black hair and eyes that were pools of despair. She was standing in the very room I was in, her face contorted in a silent scream, her hands outstretched as if pleading for help. Then, as quickly as it came, the vision vanished, leaving me trembling and breathless. I knew then that I had to leave. The house was not just haunted, it was alive, feeding on my fear, drawing me deeper into its web of darkness. I packed my bags in a frenzy, my hands shaking so badly I could barely hold on to the straps. As I reached the front door, the voice spoke again, louder than ever before. "You cannot leave," it hissed, the words echoing in my mind. "You belong to me now." The door slammed shut, the sound like a gunshot in the silence. I tried to open it, but it was locked, sealed shut by an unseen force. Panic seized me, my heart pounding in my chest like a trapped bird. I turned to run, but the hallway seemed to stretch before me, the shadows twisting and writhing like living things. The air grew cold, the temperature plummeting as if the house itself was exhaling its icy breath. Then I saw them. Figures emerged from the shadows, their forms indistinct, but their eyes burned with the same malevolent intent I had seen in my dreams. They moved towards me, slowly, inexorably, their whispers growing into a cacophony of madness. I stumbled back, my mind reeling, my sanity teetering on the brink of collapse. I knew then that I was not alone in the house. I was trapped, surrounded by something ancient and evil, something that had been waiting for